In this video, we will learn how to find worker surplus from the given labor supply and demand functions. This question I got from the Telegram channel of Economist. The question is like this. Consider the labor market for workers characterized by the following supply and demand curves. We are being given the supply for the labor and the demand for labor. That is SW is equal to minus 50 plus 5W, where W denotes the wage rate, okay, and S denotes the supply of labor, and demand for labor is 1000 minus 10W. We have to compute workers surplus. The options are 79,500 or 30. Okay, so how do we calculate this and what is meant by worker surplus? Worker surplus is simply the difference between the market price and the lowest price a worker is willing to accept to sell his labor. Okay, got confused? Let me show it here. Let us say we have labor demand. Okay, let us say this is our labor demand, this is our labor supply. Okay, so what is worker surplus? Worker surplus is simply it is the difference between the market price. If the market is clearing at this price, let us say P. Okay, it is the difference between the market price and the lowest price a worker is willing to accept to sell his labor. Okay, so if market is offering a wage rate of P, okay, or let us write it like this, W wage rate, and if a worker is willing to sell his labor at this wage rate, let us say W1. Okay, the difference between these two gives us the worker surplus, and it is simply this very area which lies below the equilibrium wage rate and above the labor supply curve. This area denotes our worker surplus. Okay, so let's go to the question and see how to solve this. So we have this supply of labor is LW, sorry, SW. I can write it like this. L is equal to this. Okay, and here let us write it also labor. This means labor supply is a function of wage rate. It also, this also denotes labor demand is the function of wage rate. Okay, so let us solve them first. So we have L is equal to minus 50 plus 5W. Let us solve this for W first. Okay, so we can write it like this. 5W is equal to this is 50 plus L. Okay, so I have written it like this. In place of this, I have written it like this. L and L is equal to this. Okay, then I have solved this very function. So I guess I am making it correctly here. So we can write W is equal to, if I transpose this here, this will become 50 upon 5, which comes out to be 10, plus, so this becomes 1 upon 5 L. Okay, so I have solved this labor supply for wage rate. So this is our labor supply. Okay, this is our supply for labor. Similarly, let us solve this demand for labor for wage rate. Okay, so transposing this will become 10. W is equal to 1 is 10 is 100,000 minus L, or W is equal to, if I transpose this 10, it will get divided, so this will become 100 minus, we have 1 upon 10 L. Okay, I hope I am making myself clear here. So we were being given the labor supply and demand functions. They were in terms of L. I have expressed them in terms of W, that means wage rate. Okay, now we know at equilibrium labor demand should be equal to labor supply. Okay, that means this is our supply, this is our demand. Okay, so if we equate these two, since W and W is same, since RHS is same, we can equate, sorry, since LHS is same, we can equate RHS. Okay, so we have here 100 minus 1 upon 10 L is equal to 10 plus 1 upon 5 L. Transposing this will become 90. 100 minus 10 is 90, so we have here 1 upon 5 L plus 1 upon 10L, making denominator same. Okay, so we get 2L upon 10 plus this is here, no lagunya, L upon 10, sorry. So we have same denominator. I can add up the numerator. That means 90 is equal to 3L upon 10, which gives us this is L is equal to 90 into transposing 3 upon 10, it will become 10 upon 3. So we have 3 ones are 3, 30s are 30 into 10 is 300. So our labor supplied at equilibrium will be 300, and corresponding to this, what will be the wage rate? Just plug L is equal to 300 either in this equation or this equation, so we put it here. So our equilibrium wage rate will be 10 plus the value of L is 300 upon 5. So this is 5 ones are 5, 6 are 30. So see, this comes out to be 60 plus 10 is 70. So our equilibrium wage rate will be 70. Okay, so here we have 70. And what is the intercept here? Let me write. This is our labor supply. Here intercept is 10. Here we have intercept 100. I have explained this in earlier video where I have calculated producer surplus and consumer surplus. You can use that very concept here. Okay, in place of producer surplus we have the worker surplus here. Okay, now what is worker surplus? Workers, let me write it here. Workers surplus will be equal to wage rate into units of labor. Okay, so this will be equal to wage rate into units of labor supplied minus the integral and the definite integral from 0 to equilibrium labor, that is 300. Okay, and the derivative, sorry, and the integral of this labor supply. And what is our labor supply? Our labor supply is 10, or let me write it like this, 0 to L to, okay, WDL. Okay, how do we calculate worker surplus? The same way we calculated producer surplus. We first write the total revenue minus the integral of supply curve, and similarly we have in place of total revenue we have wage rate into labor and the integral of labor supply. We need to find out this area. Okay, so how do we get this area? First we need to calculate the area of this whole rectangle, and then subtract this area. Okay, then we will get this area. Okay, so W into L gives us this whole area, and this integral gives us this area. Okay, so let me write it here. So this gives us, this is this area. Okay, this denotes that area, the whole area. Okay, so our worker surplus is equal to wage rate is we have calculated, this is 70 into units of labor is 300 minus 0 to equilibrium labor, that is 300. WDL means taking the definite integral of this labor supply function, that is 10 plus L upon, or let me write it, it is as it is 1 upon 5L. If you are seeing that my voice is not so high pitched, this is because of the fasting we do in the Ramadan. Okay, so sorry for if I'm not able to make the video correctly, or if I'm not able to impart the technicalities here. So with respect to DL, okay, so we have, this is 7 3s are 21. We have 1 2 3 2100, sorry, 21,000 minus the integral of 10 will be 10L plus integral of L will be L square. So we have 1 upon 5 L square upon 2. Okay, from 0 to 300. Okay, so we have 21,000 minus, now evaluate and the L at first upper limit, then at lower limit. Okay, so since we can write it like this. We have 10, upper limit is 300, so I can write here 300 plus L square means 300 square. 300 square is 3 3s are 9. Then we have 1 2 3 4, this is 90,000 divided by 5 2s are 10. I am just doing the calculation here. I got here 9,000. Okay, so I can write it here 9,000. So we have 21,000 minus 10 3 is 10 into 300 comes out to be, this is 3,000, this is 9,000, so 9,000 plus 3,000, now the katba, this comes out to be 12,000. Okay, if we subtract 12,000 from 21,000, so we will get now, so we will get 9,000. Okay, so our worker surplus will be 9,000. Okay, I hope I make myself clear in this video. So it is very easy. The way we calculate producer surplus or consumer surplus, same idea you need to apply here. So one thing you have to remember, you have to solve the given labor functions for wage rate first and then use the rules of the integration here. Okay, so we were being given the labor supply and labor demand. We were being told to find the worker surplus. Worker surplus is simply the difference between the market price, okay, or market price and the lowest price a worker is willing to accept to sell his labor. Okay, so if a market is offering 70 as wage rate, and if a person is willing to work for 10, okay, then the difference between these two gives us the workers surplus. Okay, so the area of this triangle. And how do we calculate this area? Simply let me write it here. So this W into L, W, this is our W, this is our L. Okay, so W into L means the area of this whole, you know, it is rectangle, minus, because our endeavor is to find out this very rectangle, then we need to subtract this this trapezium shaped, let me show it here. So it is like this. Then we calculate, if we subtract this area from this rectangle, we will be left with this triangle, that is no, so this is our worker surplus, and this is being given by W into L, and this stuff is being given by the integral from 0 to L W dl. Okay, and this gives us the area of this very triangle. I hope I make myself clear in this. So if there are some mistakes in this video, I will love to be rectified. Okay.